Well, we're down in the dell this morning where spring really is coming on at quite a rate now. Just look at this fantastic bank of snowdrops we've got under this combination beech and oak tree. This is in quite a low-lying piece of land, and it's quite startling to think that even 2 weeks ago this was under a covering of around 8 inches of snow. They were up, I think we showed you the younger snowdrops back in January when we were collecting loose bulbs on the surface, but they withstand that every year and come on to give you this fantastic display. And these are quite nice little snowdrops, these, variety of different heights. It's quite unusual how much variety you get in a very close planting. Lovely golden sepals in the middle. And we've also got a load of doubles. Let me go and see if we can find you some of those to show you. They're all mixed up together, but what a mass. Beautiful effect when you get this many in a compact area like this. This little area here shows you the difference in varieties that we've got planted here. This tall single variety, look at the beautiful green striations in the inner cup, and then right next to it, growing probably 4 to 5 inches lower, we've got these big, much fuller double varieties, again with the green striation, but a smaller overall flower and a much more downward growth because of the weight in those blooms. Shorter, slightly silver, more upright foliage as well. Just growing side by side, and these must be cross-pollinating all the time. This planting has been here probably for maybe hundreds of years, who knows. This dell has been a little wooded area on the side of the farm for a long period of time. And there's mixed plantings of bulbs in here that have been put in by subsequent owners, but I think the snowdrops probably are just wild hybrids that have colonised this area for years now. And interspersed in them we've got these beautiful drifts of aconites. Let me go and show you some of those. Here we are, these aconites just grow here every spring. Give us the most brief flowering really. Aconites, before they come out fully, they're almost over. Best grown in a semi-shade area. Beautiful, vibrant buttercup yellow. And what a lovely combination it does make with these snowdrops for an underplanting in a woodland area. Absolutely gorgeous. And this little area was one of my projects from last spring. What we're trying to do is extend the planting and drifts of these snowdrops gradually to under this old apple tree. And we've done that by splitting clumps and moving small little pockets of the snowdrop bulbs into this area. You can just see they're starting to come through. They've all taken, they're flowering. I wish we planted much bigger clumps in each area, because these are literally going to take several years before that has developed into that. But I'm hopeful in 5 or 10 years this area will resemble this planting just to its side. And it pays to be a little patient, because if you haven't got a mass planting of snowdrops like this from which to draw on your stock, then purchasing these little beauties can be quite expensive, particularly if you've got a largest area that you're wanting to plant up. But we're lucky enough to have these naturalised in this area of woodland, and we're starting to move some now into the front garden onto a bank which has been planted with a lot of tete-a-tetes and narcissi, and we've got crocus and some anemones planted in there. So we'll take you and show you how that's developing up. I've got one more thing to show you down here. You'll probably just pick them up on the banks in that distance. These lovely wild primroses. Let me show you those. Well, spring really wouldn't be spring for me without these native wild primroses that we've got. They grow naturally in Norfolk very easily. They seed themselves out throughout the paths very abundantly, but they also can be divided very nicely and a big clump will very easily split into 4 or 5 smaller crowns that can be planted out at this time of year. You can do that while the soil's waterlogged and moist down here, and they'll continue to flower. See, some of these are later than others. Occasionally you'll get a hybridized one, and out of nowhere will sprout a purple, mauve or red variety like we've got there. But just look, these are little seedlings that are spread out into the path. This is actually a mown path later in the season. They seem to particularly like seeding themselves into shorter grass, and we'll probably move these to where we'd like to extend this planting, because they just give you this lovely burst. Again, a lovely mixed planting with snowdrops. Fantastic, easy plant to grow, giving you this very early burst of spring colour.